From the previous lectures, you now have a fair understanding of what is DevOps and the role that continuous integration and continuous delivery play in a software development lifecycle. In this lecture, you will understand some basics of Jenkins. Jenkins is probably the most popular continuous integration, continuous delivery tool that is out there. It is an extremely powerful open source automation tool that supports continuous build and deployment cycles in a project. It has hundreds of plugins that enable Jenkins to seamlessly work with various tools at every stage of SDLC. You can run Jenkins as a standalone Java app, or you can run it as a web app on an HTTP server like Tomcat, or you could also install it directly using an installer for your operating system. That installer comes pre-packaged with a web server of its own. It has support for nearly every scripting tool like Ant, Maven or Gradle, and many more. A continuous integration, continuous delivery pipeline can be easily set up in a very short time and can be run either as a master agent or as a slave agent in a Jenkins master-slave architecture. Now, that brings us to the topic of the deployment architecture of Jenkins. A typical prerequisite to installing and setting up Jenkins is that the disk space must be sufficiently big. That is because, as you will see in further lectures, a Jenkins job downloads the entire code, meaning the source code, the associated tests, build scripts, images, dependencies, and many more aspects of the code base, and then works on it. This many times even repeats for each run of the build. That is why a standalone Jenkins instance can grow fairly quickly into a disk-munching CPU-eating monster. Jenkins offers a master-slave architecture in order to address this problem. In this architecture, there is one master Jenkins node and several slave nodes, each of them helping the master by offloading some of the responsibilities of the master instance. The slave is like just another Jenkins build automation executor that takes order from the master. The master will perform the role of the UI to the user, and it will also execute some builds, but usually the slaves are the ones that do the heavy lifting. In the next few lectures in this section, you will install and set up Jenkins and then go on to build your own jobs for the CI CD pipeline. That's it for this lecture. Thank you.